Folks, Andy here from Aussie Homesteads. Today I'm going to do a video on what we use for filtering our water at the farm. I'm lucky I can drink water straight out of the tank and it doesn't upset my stomach, but it does upset a few of the people that come up here and their stomachs. They're a bit sensitive to it. So we use two different methods. We've pretty much outdated the water jug. This is a Brita brand, B-R-I-T-A. I mean, I'm not promoting Brita, it's just that we happen to have one, and we've been using it for filtering water. It does about 2 litres, and this little cartridge here fits into there, and it filters the water down in through here. The water runs in through the slits and then out the bottom out there. Okay, so the other type that we use, we tend to use these inline ones. You can click your garden hose fitting onto there and fill your caravan tank with it, and it'll filter the water as the water goes through. Now there's many different types on the market. The cheaper that they are, the worse they are. And I'll show you what these ones have inside them, and you'll be quite amazed. The really cheap ones have just coconut husk. You know, the outer layer that's on a coconut? And they just pack in coconut husk. I mean, coconut husk is fantastic for getting out large particles, but it's certainly no good for getting out any materials that you want to remove. So these things, you just connect your hose to one end, and it's got a direction of flow on it, and the flow goes that way, and it goes out the other end. And it comes out. I've chopped the cap off this one so I could empty the contents out, and that's where the little fitting would be for the hose on the other end. And we have one of those in our caravan that filters the water. They do about 10,000 litres of water, and then you just dispose of it and get another one. That one is actually just full of what's called activated charcoal, and it's just charcoal that's been activated, and that removes all the impurities. It doesn't particularly soften the water. That's what that one does, but I'll explain that in a minute. This one just has activated charcoal in it, and it is jam-packed in there. So at the end of it, they have to put a little filter on the end of it just to stop the charcoal coming out of it. But they're very effective, and they're about $11 each, and they do about 8 to 10,000, generally about 10,000 litres of water. Now these ones here, these little Brita filters, that's this one here. Right, so what I've done is I've chopped the top off one of those and emptied the contents out into this little container. And that, you can see at the inside of it, that not only has what this one has, which is activated charcoal, this one also has these little white beads, and these are called ionic exchange resin. I know it's a technical term, but basically what that resin does is through ionic exchange, it latches onto heavy metals and any impurities in your water, and it exchanges it for a sodium atom. So what you're getting is basically a water softener. So those little white beads will be the softener, and they'll be latching onto but they'll also latch onto minerals that you need. So don't forget you need what's called trace elements in your diet. So if you're going to keep removing them, just be aware of that when you're filtering your water. And so that's activated charcoal and these little ionic exchange, little polymer beads. They're quite an amazing combination, and they work really well. These little Brita filters, I think, do about, I think it's something like 80 litres. I mean, you can look it up on the internet. And then what you do is once it's finished and it's taken all of its impurities out, you just dispose of it and get another one. And these Brita filters now, this is an older style one. They've been replaced now. You can't get these cartridges anymore. So they redesigned it with a larger cartridge and larger capacity. So I think they hold about 4 litres now. And they used to have a little date thing on the top that you could set it so you know when to change your filter over. So there you go. That's 2 ways that we filter the water. I mean, as I say, it doesn't bother me. I can just drink tank water. But some of the girls have rather sensitive stomachs, and they prefer their water actually filtered. So we tend to use these inline ones. Just click your hose on the end. And if you're going to put it up, just put it after your pump. So your pump would be here, and then pump it through, and then into whatever tap you want to use. So there you go. It's just a quick video on what's inside these water filters. They're quite amazing. So it's Andy here signing out from Aussie Homesteads. Until the next one, and I'll catch you up. Bye for now.